What up? What up? Welcome to another episode of the Crown and Stitch podcast, where we talk about fitteds, headwear, snapbacks, you name it. But my name's Nick Ingval. I'm with my guys Keith and Dexter. What's good, fellas? How you guys doing?
Yo, what's going on, man? How's it going?
Good.
It's all good over here, man. Talking about these hats.
Yep, I'm ready, man. There's been a lot of cool stuff out there. I don't know, it's been like on fire the last couple of years, right? And we're going to get into one of probably, I would say, like the biggest, maybe the biggest like pack that released over the last few years, which seems to be just an ongoing storyline. But I don't know, like what do you guys think? How should we start out? Should we do little like recent pickups? I know we've all got a little something sitting, right? So I'll let one of you guys start us off.
Go ahead, Keith.
Let me take a look here. These are semi-recent. I know Nick, you had just mentioned one of those packs. This was off of it.
Oh, that's that Larry June.
Damn.
Yeah, Larry June. You know, I'm a big Larry June fan, and of course, you know, like we all are big Giants fans, and so I was juiced, man. When I hit on that, I was grocery shopping at Safeway, and you know, had to stop, throw my daughter in the cart, try to check out as quick as possible, and not gonna lie, it was a good rest of the day. Next one, this was from Sports World.
That's sick.
Get the side patch in there. You know, I don't see this Cardinals logo on too many different hats, and I'm a big fan of, you know, the burgundy and maroon visor. I'm big on the burgundy and maroon. I think it was
What's the side patch on that one?
This is the 100th anniversary. I don't know if you can see that on there.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
The batting bird right there.
Yeah.
I think it was called the Watermelon Corliss pack. It was some type of plant, I guess. I don't know exactly what it is, but the hat is dope. And last one, this was a gift, actually, an early Easter gift, but
oh, you got it.
Oh, nice.
I got it. The laser pack for my fitteds. Had to pay resale. It was a little expensive. Actually, I didn't pay resale. It was a gift, but probably instantly one of my favorite hats. You know, got it for I want to say semi-reasonable price compared to what else I've been seeing. But yeah, man, I was really excited for that one. That's, like I said, instantly probably one of the favorites in the whole collection.
That pack is dope. Those colors are just wild, man. Just wild.
I'm a sucker for, you know, the glow in the dark type of stuff, you know, the wild colors. Not all the time, but you know, I feel like it's good to break that stuff out every once in a while, at least.
Now you definitely got to go bowling with that thing on. Like I said,
yeah, I was thinking the same thing
with the black light.
Same thing.
Yeah,
you'd be glowing on the lanes.
Yep, definitely. How about you, Dex? What's good? What you got?
So I got this right here. This is Copper Zone, Montreal Expos. The patch. I don't know if y'all can see it. Some French. I don't know what. I think it's just pretty much saying the baseball team in French. But yeah, recent pickup. Number 1. Number 2, just an old school Detroit Tigers hat.
All right. There we go.
You know, nothing too crazy. You know, gray, black guts. You know,
that's dope though.
You don't always need a patch. You know what I'm saying? You don't always need a patch. They are nice though. But yeah, I think I got that from my fitteds.
Nice.
All right.
What you got, Nick?
So I only got one this week, but this is from a couple weeks back, I guess. The Hat Club joint.
It's the Warriors right there.
Yeah, the Warriors got the 60th anniversary patch on the side there.
Oh, damn, that looks so much better than the pictures.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
It's really good. Yeah, I mean, pretty happy with it. Definitely pretty happy with it.
I have a question about this hat. What shoes are you going to rock with that?
So I don't know yet. That's actually kind of up in the air because I can't really think of any like yellow and blue, right? Like I do have I got something. I'm gonna have to dig it out. I got something. So you're gonna have to come back in a future episode. I actually got a pair that's got a good story behind it too. It's got some yellow and blue on it.
Perfect.
So, yeah, and now that I'm thinking about it, I totally should have grabbed those for the episode today. But yeah, I mean it's crazy how like because I when I first saw it, I think this is when we were just talking about doing the pod, right? And I think one of you guys sent it, and I was like, oh man, size 8 sitting there.
It's just sitting there.
Gotta get it for you.
Yeah, like gotta grab it, right? Because not all of them sit even for a minute. So if it's there like later in the day, it's like I feel like I'm not a very religious person, but I think like God's probably trying to say something to me if it's just sitting there and in my face waiting. So, but yeah, I mean it's surprisingly better than what I guess expected, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't thinking it was going to be bad or anything, but the colors pop way nicer in person than I think the photos do, which is kind of the opposite of how I feel most kind of like fitted releases have been working, right? Like most of the pictures lately, I mean, everybody's done so well in the last few years, like really step up their game. But specifically, I guess we could get into today's main topic, but the Hat Club Aux Pack, man, is just like one of those like ongoing, bring it back, kind of like the re-release. I think if I remember right, it's probably like 2020. It's been about a year and a half since it started, right? Something like that. Or what? 3 packs, 3 sets. I don't know how they break
3
that
volumes.
up.
Yeah.
3 volumes.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But all those photos, all those colors in that every time is just like it just feels expensive to me. Like I can't afford to buy all the hats that I want out of this, even though I'm probably only going to wear like a small percentage if I hit on every one of them that I tried to buy. But it's
even
definitely
just
one of
like
those
the photography too, like the photo shoots they do and just the whole rollout they do for the whole Aux Pack. They make it look really nice and really tempting to buy all of them, right?
Yeah, totally.
If I probably would buy all of them if I could buy all of them.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of one that I would have had it been sitting in my size that like I can't think of one I would have been like, nah, I'm good. Because even the ones that weren't like a team that I would want, I would probably end up trying to trade those for a team that I would want, right? But yeah, what do you? I mean, I think Dex, you had like the list of kind of the references for those, right?
Got it up
we should
right
kind
now.
of run through some of those and talk about some of that.
So this was, I think this is the most current pack that they came out with, or volume. And so they had an Atlanta Braves, Outkast, Speaker Box, The Love Below, which is like, classic album. Like,
yep.
Probably top 20 album ever. They have Atlanta Braves, Outkast, AT Aliens, another classic album.
I love
Brooklyn
that.
Dodgers, Notorious B.I.G., Ready to Die. Classic album, right? They're like they went crazy with this. Chicago Cubs, they had Chance the Rapper. I don't listen to him, so I don't know too much about that. Sorry, nothing against him. Then they got a Chicago Cubs, Kanye. It says TLOP. What is that? That's
Life of Pablo.
There we go. Life of Pablo. Boom. Cleveland Indians, Bone Thugs, East 1999. Classic.
Classic.
Album cover, man.
Yep.
Detroit Tigers, Eminem, Encore. This is only half of them. Then they kind of pissed me off. They did Dodgers, Tupac, All Eyes on Me. I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. All right. Then they did Dodgers, DJ Quick, Way Too Funky. Dodgers, Far Side, Bizarre Ride to the Far Side. Classic album.
Yep.
New York Mets, Lost Boys, Legal Drug Money. New York Yankees, Dead Prez, Let's Get Free. New York Yankees, The Tunnel Nightclub. I don't know what that is. Doesn't say who the person is, but maybe there's an actual nightclub. I don't know. Oakland A's. This is where we get good. Okay. Tupac, Strictly from my N asterisk. Then we got Oakland A's Mac Dre, Young Black Brother. Then we got the San Francisco Giants, E40 in a Major Way, one of the best albums ever. And then we have last one, San Francisco Giants, Andre Nickatina, Tears of a Clown. So for them to do the underground Bay Area rap albums, that was like, come on, dog. That killed it right there.
Yeah, definitely. So I just did a little quick search. Tunnel was a nightclub located in Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan from 86 to 2001. So yeah, probably a pretty good run. I can't remember anything specifically, but I know like that era for hip hop is, you know, it's that Biggie era, right? It's that like Puff coming up and you know, kind of finding his way to the top of New York hip hop, right? So I can only imagine what went down at a place like that. So it's kind of dope that they would pull that in. Dex, you've seen this one, but I figured since there was going to be a Mac Dre mention, I might as well pull this one out and share.
You got to pull it out.
It's just too good to not, right?
That shit is flawless.
So I don't know if any of y'all remember.
Look at that
Satin Liner. So this was from a company that was from the Bay that did fitteds years back called Hella Tight. I mean, it's crazy material. I have to wear it at some point when we all link up, but it's just one of those like gems in my collection that I just look at and think like, man, like nobody even knew about this stuff back then. How did I end up with this? And like, you know, it's almost like there's no place for this kind of stuff on the internet, right? With sneakers, you're bombarded with like nostalgia and people are like, yo, remember this? Don't get me wrong. I'm one of these people most of the time, so don't take this the wrong way. But people are like, yo, you remember this like knockoff penny shoe that Nike made that was like, you know, he wore it one time in like 1994 for one game, but only for the first half. And it was like so crazy. And you're like, yo, if it wasn't in the East Bay catalog, I don't remember it, man. Sorry. Like I know a lot of stuff about sneakers, working in sneakers, but like some people are really, really deep in the weeds in that kind of stuff. I love those people because I get to learn from them, but it's also hard to think about fitteds and talk about something even like this Aux Pack, right? And think like, what happened like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago in fitteds that, you know, nobody talked about or nobody is talking about anymore, you know, like there's no place to find that information, which is what I really hope, like kind of having these conversations on this podcast kind of opens up, right? Like there's so many like good things out there that we don't always get because we get hit with the same kind of algorithm, right? We get like, okay, cool. Like we've seen the Aux Pack, it's dope, but we can't get it. Like what are the other options? And like nothing against like Hat Club or My Fitteds or any of these companies, because like we're all buying from them and you know, trying to support the community that exists in the fitteds world, right? But I do think that there's like a missing piece of like just like outside of the just like buy, you know, here's a new release, you got to get it kind of thing. That hopefully we can figure out how to like have more of these conversations and get some interesting people that have done some cool shit along the way in this whole world of hats, right? So
get a little bit of that history in there, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't got to go too deep into it. We're gonna introduce some things along the way to hopefully, you know, for us to learn, but like also to share with everybody to you know, kind of drop some knowledge that people can take away. But I think it's just really fascinating to me, right? Like, you know, you guys are both into sneakers. There's probably 20, 30 different like major blogs out there talking about sneakers every single day of the week. There's probably, you know, tens of thousands of Instagram accounts dedicated to like, I got early pics of this thing.
Yep.
And I know that exists a little bit in fitteds and headwear in particular, but it's very minimal comparatively. But like, it seems like there's just as many people, maybe not, you know, not quite as many into fitteds right now as sneakers, but there's a lot of people that are into fitteds right now that just didn't care about them 5-10 years ago. And I think it's great, right? Like in my opinion, that's the kind of stuff that has to happen in order for like big projects like the Aux Pack to come to life, right? Like, the guys at Hat Club might have been sitting on that idea for years before they were like, okay, we're able to sell out of these enough to where we could do this big collection, right? Because if you do two, three fitteds drop on a Friday or Saturday, it's pretty easy to sell through that, right? But if you're doing, how many are in that? 20 this time around, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Well, they got 32 coming out on Saturday, so yeah,
32. So like, just the growth of this and the interest in all this stuff is really fascinating to me, and just as a fan, like it's dope to see people getting to be creative, right? Because I think at the end of the day, if you're into something like that, you kind of, it's like low key the dream in the back of your mind is like, yo, one day I'm just going to get to flip my own version of that, right? Whether it's sneakers or clothes or fitted, a car, like it's just like when you're passionate about something, you get to be really like, expressive with the way that you put something together when, talking about potentially like a collaboration or your own brand or whatever that is. So it's pretty dope.
And that's one of the things too about like similarly to like sneakers with the nostalgia aspect of it, like specifically with the Aux Pack, it's like they find these things to hook to the hats that you either grew up loving or something you're really passionate about, like, an artist, an album cover, whatever it may be, or, even different collections. I know with my fitteds with, he has a lot of hooks to like books his son reads and stuff like that. And, once you get that aspect of it, for me personally, at least, it makes me want to buy the hat even more. And it might not even be something that anyone else would even recognize or notice, but, to me, it means something, and that's how they keep me buying all these new hats all the time, or at least part of the reason,
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm like, that's how we all got into this by, being fans of certain things. And then, when you can connect it all together, that's, they'll get me every time, like, so like that Andre Nicotina Tears of a Clown hat. I wanted that hat more just because it was Andre Nicotina than what the actual hat looked like, So like when you're doing stuff like that and you're bringing the history and you're bringing the culture and then you're making it a hat, like I might have to pay retail, you know what I'm saying? And actually, I'm on eBay right now. Are you selling that Mac Dre hat, Nick?
No.
Okay, well, there's only one available on eBay, and it's a size 8.
Oh no, definitely not me. No. This is never leaving my collection. I'm sorry.
Okay, good.
I mean, if somebody wants to like trade me a house for it or something, I'd be tempted. But like,
you can get one for $200 right now, and then sell it for the house. You're good.
Seriously,
sit on it for a couple years, Nick.
Yeah. Nah, man. Once I don't really get rid of stuff. Unfortunately, I'm kind of just a hoarder. It is what it is. No shame in it. But I think you guys both make great points about like the connection, right? Thinking about like depending on where you're at listening to this or watching this, you might not even know who Andre Nicotina is, right?
Exactly.
We're all from Northern California, been around the Bay a long time. This is kind of like common stuff, but like even just me having to look up the Tunnel nightclub in New York, right? I'm going to go digging into that and finding stories about that afterwards. And I think one of the other things that's like the side byproduct of great stories and great like connections, right? Talking about like, the AT-Aliens album, right? I'm going to listen to that tomorrow because I haven't listened to that in probably 5-10 years. I feel like I haven't put that on since I was listening to it on a CD kind of thing, right? You hear some songs here and there all the time from everybody, right? When you're listening to music, but you're not like deep diving into that older stuff that you would have been, blasting on repeat when it came out, right? But the cool thing about something like this Aux Pack is that it's spread out enough too, to where people can actually learn about the hip hop connections across the country. Right. And like, like I would love to see them even take it a step further and be like, yo, let's learn about some like, like some grime stuff over in Europe. Like stuff in London that happens, right? Because like that kind of stuff is just even fascinating to me as, you know, being here in the States, we just don't get access to it the same way, right? We're like, okay, cool. Nike did a collab with Skepta, so it's, you know, it's cool now to listen to Skepta, but like, you know, who knew him? You know, I get that certain people did because that's what they're into, but generally speaking, it's such a small percentage outside of that. In the same way with like Andre Nicotina, right? Like Mac Dre, even, right? Like if you're a, you know, 15 to 20 something right now, 25-year-old maybe, you know, like you probably haven't experienced a lot of Mac Dre other than knowing like your older cousins were listening to it or your older brother was listening to it. But like, it's not like prominent the way it was for us 15 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever that was, that got us all excited about it. So it's cool to have this like thing where it's almost like the hat can now become the reason for you to pass along those stories to somebody. And I think that's like one of my favorite things about hats, sneakers, all this stuff, right? It's like, even like you could get into like streetwear collabs, right? You know, like, I mean, there's tons of them around the Bay specifically, but like on a bigger picture, I think the Hundreds does an incredible job of it, right? Because they're like, yo, we're nerding out. We were watching Garfield when we were kids, so we're gonna do a Garfield collab. And like, that's the kind of stuff that's like super important because who the hell knows about Garfield that's like 15 years old, right? Like, is Garfield on TikTok? Probably not, you know, like
he was in the comic book or in the newspaper. Go to the comic section.
Yeah, exactly. And kids now are like, what's a newspaper? You know,
newspaper. What? You mean Twitter?
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Well, so one of the things we want to do on this show is a little history lesson. So one of the things that I wanted to kind of jump into on this particular episode was I gotta find it now because now I forgot about it. Fuck.
The word?
Yeah, what's the word?
I forgot it, dude. Oh man, check your search history. But while you're doing that,
okay.
So I like how you're talking about how like, you know, people might come to you on the street and like ask you like what's going on with your hat, right? So I have the St. Patrick's Day Hat Club Giants hat. So it's like hella shades of green, right? So I forgot where the hell I was. Somebody was like, he's like, you got a Giants hat with A's colors? And I was like, dude, it's St. Patrick's Day. He goes, oh, okay. Yeah. And I'm telling him about the hat and all the specifics. And he's like, all right, that's a lot of information, sir. I'm like, well, you wanted to know, you know what I'm saying? The shit's deep. It's not just I wanted a green hat. There's a reason why it's green.
Yeah, totally. That's funny too. Cause like, I was going to say like, I have like an old Giants St. Patrick's Day from like an on-field thing. You probably got one too, but like years back. Right. And then I got a new one, I don't know, within the last year or so that was not St. Patrick's Day specific, but like one of those green packs. And I'm just going to preface, if you're listening to the show or watching, like, I don't remember where I bought my hats from. I'm so sorry. Like, I'd love to shout you out and say, thanks for allowing me to buy a hat from you. But like, seriously, I just don't remember. Like when I see something, I just grab it up and like order it. Same way in the stores. Like like I couldn't tell you what store I was in, you know. But that said, I think like it's going to be interesting, like as we get into future episodes where we talk about kind of all these different places where we're looking for hats too, because there's so many places that are out there and everybody has like a little bit of a twist to make it different. Right. But then some of those themes are always going to be around, right? St. Patrick's Day is the perfect one, right? Even the league will end up throwing a different one out there one of these days, right? Maybe not this year, maybe next year. It'll be like, oh, we twisted it and we did, you know, an orange button. Or if you look up a little history lesson that I was saying I was going to get into, the button on the top of the hat was once called a squatchy.
Yeah, that's it. Squatchy.
I knew it was some off the wall stuff.
Squatchy.
Right? A squatchy. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. But there's your interesting history lesson / tidbit fact of the day, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. Sometimes I wonder how things survive with some of the corny names that have
How do you
existed.
spell that?
SQAATCHEE. Squatchy. Got me, man. Got me.
Squatchy. Holy moly. That's insane.
I don't think I'm ever going to be able to forget that now. That's permanently stuck in my head.
I thought I would. I thought I wouldn't forget it the first time.
I know. Yeah, same here.
Oh man.
Oh man. All right. Well, we're going to try to keep these episodes to about a half hour long so you can catch them, tune in, watch, listen, whatever you want to do in a relatively short amount of time. Maybe it's on your commute, you're on the train, you're on the BART, you're on the, I don't know, maybe you're on the 6 out in Brooklyn. Like there's plenty, or out in the Bronx. Sorry. Thinking about like Brooklyn, living in Brooklyn, I used to ride the A train. Anyway, I'm totally getting off subject here. What we also want to do, because we all met through sneakers and the Sneaker History Discord community and podcast that's over there that I'm on, and these guys are a huge part of that community. We want to talk about fits and kicks, or kicks and fits, or I don't know. How should we call that? You let us know what we should call it, because we got all these ideas, but we just don't know exactly what's going to resonate the most with everyone. So today we want to share like some, just some like some fits and kicks, right? Some, little something we would wear together, maybe do a little matching and see some heat, I guess. That's the best way to put it, right? Who wants to go first?
Dexter? What you got, Dexter?
Oh, me first?
Might as well start us off, Dex.
Check it out. So in the previous episode, I said all I care about is matching here and there. So when I'm really thinking about looking nice for the day, I think about what shoe I want to wear. Then I'm like, okay, what hat can I wear with that? Everything else I don't care about. So as a Giants fan, we got the old school logo, 80s. This is with the Oakland A's All-Star game, 87. No Batterman, because it's old school. With the shattered backboards. There you go, right? Can't go wrong with that.
Nice.
And
Perfect combo.
we got the Daybreakers Hat Club.
That's a great colorway.
With some court purples, Go Kings. White guts for sure.
Yeah,
Right,
that's dope. That's so dope.
What you got, Keith?
Since we're sticking on the theme of talking about last episode, I know I had mentioned that the My Fitted's Magic Treehouse Orioles hat, one of my favorites here.
That's so nice.
And to be honest, I don't think I've ever seen this side patch on another hat, the Camden Yards.
Yeah.
And with the classic green and gold, the LeBron threes.
Wow.
It just goes
Damn,
perfect.
son.
I feel extra fresh every time I put that fit on. And, like Dex said, I can kind of care less. Second episode in a row, white tee. That's all. White tee, some jeans, and the hat and the feet got to match.
I mean, that's why they call you Keek the Sneak, right? Keek the Sneak. The white tee on.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like I might be. I don't know, man. You guys are bringing out like some serious heat. So I'm gonna just go Jordan 3, right? Kind of classic. Minor beat. Sorry, I don't clean my kicks very often. Sorry, Mario. Sorry, Barry.
I know.
They're
right?
usually beat up because I wear them. But this is probably my most underrated / I don't know, forgotten fitted. Scottsdale Scorpions. This is the team that MJ played for in the Arizona Fall League in the 90s when he retired from the game of basketball. This is not the shoe that he wore during that era, but for me, it's all about being a little bit off, right? Trying to keep it a little bit subtle, keep people guessing, make them wonder about it a little bit. Like, yo, did MJ wear those shoes with that? Is that a Scottsdale Scorpions hat? Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. Scottsdale.
Oh man. Well, another one in the books, fellas. What do you think? We should probably let people know how to find us outside of this show.
Outside of this show, you can find me on IG at Keith the Sneak with 2 Ks, and hop in the Sneaker History Discord. You can find me in there too.
You can find me smooth as eggs everywhere, wherever you could think of. I even have an OnlyFans. I've never posted anything, but I got the damn domain. Okay, domain. Also, I'm a host of another podcast, the Industry Special Podcast. You can get that on Spotify and YouTube, Apple Podcasts. So, yeah, come holla at me. Check me out.
Cool. You can find me at Nick Engvall on all the platforms, but more importantly, follow Crown and Stitch on all the platforms: Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. No OnlyFans unless Dex decides to sign up for it. But hey, I'm with it. If it works, it works.
Send a tip.
All right, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us and tuning in, listening. Catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.